I don't think I'm trying to save my job. I'm trying to save myself. In the process, this job will be a catalyst to do that. Now, you could all be like, that's bullshit. Again, that's part of the course. I can't really worry about what everybody else thinks. I got to start worrying about what I think.
Barstool Pick'em brought to you by our friends at Game Time. Game Time is the exclusive ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Give the gift of an awesome experience this holiday season with Game Time. If you're nervous that your present won't arrive in time or simply forgot to holiday shop, Game Time tickets get delivered to your phone and inbox instantly. Game Time has all the best tickets, and you'll get an awesome price on them. If you haven't given Game Time a shot yet, now's the time. We've been using Game Time all year. We've gone to games all across the country. I think Big Ev had LSU as his number one. He used Game Time for that. Download the Game Time app, go to the account tab to create a login, redeem code PICK'EM for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download Game Time. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. If you're looking for that thing that you know, a present for Christmas and you forgot, Game Time, you can do it in 1 second. One click of a button, redeem code PICK'EM for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download Game Time. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Okay, Barstool Pick'em, bowl season episode 2. What's up, guys? Feels like it's been a long week. What's up?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we had the Nadeau Bosco press conference, which is good. And Dan, we've talked a little bit off the record, or not off the record, but offline. You know, it's impossible to tell at this point what Rico's doing at gunpoint versus, you know, he's making, whether he's like, yup, this is the right thing as a human. We'll never know that. That will come down the road, what we find with that. But, you know, from my perspective, I still think Rico's, you know, an insane person. Mm-hmm. Clearly, I don't think that's changed. I do. So everything I say, I know he's insane. So maybe he's processing, maybe he's not. I think anybody would be taken aback by the amount of hate within the company for him. And in his darkest moments, the only two people who truly had his back are
Hank, although he saw Avatar on Thursday when I was going through it, when I was having a hell of a time online.
It is this room which I have said, I don't know, 1,000 times, nobody has gotten away with more and been protected more than Rico. And I think maybe he finally saw it when there was an avalanche within our own doors to get him out. He's here. And he'll be here unless something bad happens, which I don't think it will. But he probably sent a company email, which I'm sure he saw, which everybody, because that's how much the pressure, like, what?
In fairness, I didn't.
What do you mean?
I got wiped from everything. So that email, it was all in my own, was speculation. I just texted Pete to get back in. I did not see the email.
So you haven't seen the email still?
No. Probably for the best.
I mean, read it.
Yeah, I got the gist of it. Like no,
you read it for us. But Dave, it is. I was thinking about it. In the ultimate twist, because there's been a million twists in this show's history, the guy who has spent 3 presidencies screaming of squeeze outs and
he got
come in your hole and all this stuff. We now, me, you, and Hank, our reputation is now on the line with the guy who's been claiming that we've been squeezing him out for 3 presidencies.
Yeah, we squeezed him in.
Yeah, we're in it. We couldn't be more inside of his hole.
Here's the email, and I ended Friday. I sent it to everybody, and I don't send content emails very often. There's something generally. Maybe we got to promote something.
Usually not more than 1 sentence. I feel like you send a decent amount of like 1 sentence emails, but not.
Yeah, I don't
not
even
anything
think
with a link.
if I guessed how many I sent this year, I would say it's under 7.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
they don't come very often.
It was Kate when Kate brought a
stew.
Yeah, Kate brought a stripper.
Yeah, stew.
Yeah, when he ranked
everyone.
Employees. One's coming. You know, be very careful with responsible gambling again, since the haters, of which we have some, are would do anything to get us in trouble. But anyways, here it was. Fun week at Barstool. Barstool Sports, that was the headline. Just another normal week at Barstool. We had an office invasion, UFC versus Barstool, and last but not least, the Rico Bosco saga. I just wanted to chime in on the handling of the Rico situation. There's nobody who condones what Rico did or thinks it isn't a major psycho scumbag move, and I certainly appreciate everybody having an opinion. In fact, I'd argue that's one of the beauties of Barstool Sports. Everybody can express themselves and be outspoken and criticize whoever they want. Also, I just want to reiterate that if Cons didn't want Rico back, he would not have been allowed back. That's not lip service. Cons and I have a great relationship. He knows there was no pressure for him to let him back. He chose to be the bigger man. However, I do want to remind people of what I said I wanted Barstool Sports to be when we relocated to NYC, the first ever blog reality show. That is what we are. We are not scripted TV or well-produced reality show even. We are not ESPN. We're not Bleacher Report. We're truly unlike any other company out there. We show people the good, the bad, and the ugly of our company. Without the constant sideshow that we've had essentially since the Milton days, we aren't where we are right now, and many of you don't have your dream jobs. That's just facts. It certainly doesn't excuse what Rico did. I was shocked and disgusted when I found out about it. It was an all-time scumbag move that gets you fired instantly at 99.9% of jobs. Maybe should have gotten him fired here. It wasn't an easy decision to keep him, and hopefully it's one I won't regret. I certainly understand people who never want to see him again and hate his guts. I absolutely do not think he will do anything like this ever again, and if I ever doubt myself even 1% on that, he'll be gone before it can ever happen. All I'm asking is that if you think this is a good place to work, just think about how we got here over the last 2 decades. There's a reason people are so invested in each and every one of us, and it's for better or worse because of drama like this. Have a great weekend, everybody. Don't throw high noons at people's heads or go after their family. Dave.
Great email. And
so that was the email.
I do want Rico's thoughts on it now that he's heard it. It's been a crazy week. People have been very upset at me online. I understand it because I think there's a little confusion. I don't condone anything Rico's done. I think that I'll always look at him differently. What you said in that email, we're like the Howard Stern whack pack. Like, this company is not normal. And I'm hoping he changes because part of my reputation is on the line. I also am a big believer in second and this would be third chances. And people can hopefully fix themselves and get better and be part of this show and part of this company and not go after people's families, which is way over the line and way off limits.
Yeah, I actually think Rico's schizo. That is my uneducated, unprofessional diagnosis. You're laughing a little because people don't get
laughing it off. Yeah,
I like Rico, the guy I deal with. I like. The other madness, while I certainly find funny and entertaining, and we talked about in the rundown, I don't like. It's so unbelievably preposterous that he asked Jersey Jerry for a hitman. Like,
by the way,
you can't make that up. You cannot make that up.
There's a theory, maybe floating around.
That
he asked for outside services so it couldn't be tracked back to him.
Well, yes, he's capable.
And then Jerry falls for the crime.
Yeah, no, listen, nothing he does, but that's it. It's like I find it entertaining and funny. I do like, but I've always known he's a madman, and something clicks like the Nadeau goal. Like, he's a madman.
It was a great moment. I said it right after, and he just, yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I don't know, like, I really do want it to work because the part that has known him for 10 years and does like him, and again, it's hard to tell because I know everyone's like, oh my God, it's forced. He did the Nadeau thing. Nothing's changed. He's doing it at gunpoint. Listen, he wouldn't save his cousin's bar at gunpoint. Right. Like, that is a change.
Yes.
I don't care if he's like he had no choice or whatever. I honestly believe if you asked me before this happened and I said your job's on the line, you got to do Nadeau that, or you got to jump off a bridge, he'd jump off a bridge.
Agreed.
I honestly believe that.
Yes.
So something changed a little bit, whether it's gunpoint or not.
Yes. Agreed. And it's been a wild, wild week. So Rico, where are you after hearing that email, seeing the fact that Dave Dave and Hank and I are in your hole, for better or worse. There's definitely been
Did you
moments.
see, by the way, the only one person replied to that email.
Who was it? Oh, it was Rear Ad, yeah.
Rear Admiral with cold hard foot.
Old takes exposed, yeah.
Old takes exposed.
Yeah, he was like old takes exposed. Yeah, it's been tough because a lot of people have been coming at me, and I understand why. I don't think it's not unfair. I'm not going to be like it's unfair that people are coming at me, but we took a lot of bullets for you, and I've had a lot of moments where I'm like, why am I doing this? I got a pretty good life, but I care about people.
Yeah, see, one thing I do, and we'll let Rico, those bullets don't affect me. The cons thing, because I was so convinced he was being genuine, it's like, fine. And that email is true. And I've said this about Belichick at times when we're more successful. It's like, people get mad at things he does. Well, that's Belichick. Like, if you change one little thing of Belichick, you may not have Belichick.
Right.
With Barstool, we are the modern day, not on purpose. It's just we let people be people. It's not scripted. This is a window into madness. We look for lunatics or weird brains, as we say, and we let them run wild. If people knew the laundry list on my desk of people who have had to take a break because of mental issues, like, it's almost like the old SNL.
Yeah.
He's a lunatic. And yes, he's had multiple chances because he's a little bit of my lunatic. Now, I was shocked, but you can't suddenly, like, you and I, Dan, and Hank, to a degree, can't suddenly, like, absolve, oh, we didn't see that coming.
Right.
Like, the guy's a fucking lunatic.
Of course. We've absolutely taken part in allowing it to happen, and it's like a constant calculation in your head at this company, knowing like, people don't want us to be ESPN or CBS or NBC. If we did that, there would be way more people mad about that. They'd be like, you guys are just doing
and we're never
straight
gonna
sports.
Be.
Like,
and
what the
by
fuck?
the way,
yeah,
we're never going to be. It's the old, I remember when we were on the rise a little bit, and somebody, I think it was ESPN, they're like, they have a meeting, like, on how to be authentic. Well, you've lost.
Yeah.
Like, you're doing a meeting on how to, it's just our personalities. It's who we are. It's like, it's not intentional. It's like, I'm first of all at the top, probably the thickest skin of, like, I got to be top 1% of thickest skins. It's just really hard to bother me. And I find humor in a lot of things that maybe others don't. It's sarcastic, it's biting. But that's what we built. And it started 20 years ago and has gone down. So, and if people want to say whatever, what are our best moments? They're always just weird, fucking character-driven shit. This, for better or for worse, people are riveted to it. I'm not happy about it. It wasn't planned. But just to cut it off, yeah. If Cons was like, yes, it's cut off. But
yeah. And the people who were most outspoken about not wanting him back, I don't think they're upset about the page views and the views they got. Talking about Rico. That's the nature of this place.
And
is
that's
that
part of
these
the whole thing.
stories
Correct.
are what pop off, and we had everyone talking about it. And you got to be better, and you can't do anything. You can't slip up even in the slightest. But your crazy is when it's funny crazy. It's some of the best content. So that's the calculation.
And if this passes, looking back, that Rico Bosco tried to borrow online hitman from Jerry
as maybe a setup.
I can't talk about it without laughing. Of course it's a setup. Listen, any mafia movie, when you start intermingling families, someone dies. Like, that's not a clean thing that ever happened.
Well, I mean, wouldn't it have been nice if Rico got away with it and Jerry took the fall and now there's a spot on advisors?
So, yeah, Rico, I don't know. It's like you're in one of those spots right now. Nobody knows where you're actually at, right? Because how can you?
Yeah, there's a million different levels to it. Like, there's a ton of people who probably are like, well, he's doing it because he got caught. I get it. You're entitled to your opinion. There's also, unfortunately, people probably, I don't want to say out on the show, but now maybe like, I'd be like a little bit different towards watching it. Like, even this, be like, you know what? Like, I can't separate the fun stuff from what he did while watching this. So now the viewers go down on this. It might be minuscule, but same thing. Pick Central or anything, your own TikTok, your own whatever. That's unfortunately, as I say, like the price of doing business, and I did it. So to that, I fucked a ton of people up with that because you are on partnered shows, same with streams. Like people could be out on me. That means they're out on this. They're out on whatever. That's my own fuck up. There's the level
What about just the pure hate that was in the office?
Yeah, I get it. I guess the other part now is like the narrative of like, hey, you're a really bad guy. It's going to take improvement of myself, but like, I still think I'm a good person. I just did really, really bad things. And I get how that can be really bad, where it's like, well, you're not a good free throw shooter. You can't play. Or you do that, you can't field. I can't put you on the field.
Yeah, Jeffrey Dahmer was like a good guy, except when he was murdering.
Yeah, he showed up to work.
Fair enough.
But that's where I think you're legit. I don't know if we brought a brilliant therapist, psychologist. You may be diagnosed as schizo. We may have a schizo.
I think you've just let.
And I don't say that lightly. It's just.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen.
Even what you just said, like I'm a good person. I just do bad things.
Yeah, I mean that is if you do enough bad things, you're a bad person. But
agreed.
Listen,
I think
I think you just
can
let
ask
the
her.
hate. I think you've let the hate consume you. You got to a point where like the littlest thing would bother you to such a level where it's like it wasn't sustainable, and then you were gonna reach that breaking point where you did something very bad. And
if I didn't do it here, I would have done it in my personal life. It's cost other personal relationships. Like I've not gone to places if people like, oh, that guy's going. Like it just fucking consumes you. So everybody who's like, oh, you're trying to save your job, trust me. I don't think I'm trying to save my job. I'm trying to save myself. In the process, this job will be a catalyst to do that. Now, you could all be like, that's bullshit. That's part of the course. I can't really worry about what everybody else thinks. I got to start worrying about what I think. And there's unfortunate
question.
Yeah.
Good.
And again, well, hold on. Before you do that.
He's spitting, dude.
No, that was good.
Before
what
you
he
do
just
that,
said
like,
was very important.
I kind of look, again, I'm not.
Uh-oh.
No. It's like he's like, oh, you're schizo. I think a lot of the time, like, mental health was laid out in a different or in a spot where if people talk down to you, you just push it down. Like, oh, hey, maybe go talk to somebody, or oh, you're this. And you use it as like a crutch of like, no, I don't need the help. Like what you're saying is wrong. I don't need the help. Or even the mocking the way you're trying to do it. I guess it's also like 30 years of pushing it down. It's going to boil over at some point. So it's being like, hey, your way doesn't work. Your way doesn't work. Change it up because it ain't going to last either way. It would have happened at some point one way or the other. But again, like you talked about the consuming. Yeah, like I just wrote a thing on fucking Dolan, like, and I said it right in the first headline. People are gonna say pot meet kettle, but it's like if you after a while, like there's this consuming of like looking to see what one person did, right? And how you get back at them,
right?
I wrote it off but I also wrote it off as like a long time of like that being like, oh well, you did wrong to me, so I'm gonna like this is how I'm gonna combat it, or like never changing the way. I wrote it off as like pride. You wrote it off as like, I'm going to prove you wrong. Like people who said, oh, you don't belong here. Or even when you're trying to work your way in, oh, that guy sucks, hire me. I used it as like a come over the top. If you're wasting your time trying to come over the top and come over the top and come over the top instead of enjoying what you're doing, which I guess took a while to enjoy too, but it's just going to fucking consume you. Like it's not worrying about everything else has definitely been a little bit more of a burden. Even like having office hours on, like just checking out from the phone for a little while has been productive. I couldn't do it for a long time. So again, we're at a point where a ton of people are going to be like, he's full of shit. It is what it is. But I also look at it as like if you were an alcoholic, if you were addicted to drugs, people would commend you trying to get help. I've pushed it off for 30 years. I'm willing to now try to get help. So if you're judging that as, oh, he was on his last course or he was down to his final strike, yeah, but what would you also say to the guy who got pulled over, you know what I mean, doing 120, like high as a kite? Like you kind of – sometimes, unfortunately, people hit a very public bottom, hit the bottom.
What would you say?
Yeah, I hope you're right.
Yeah. What would you say to people – because I know this is what people are going to say because you had a similar bottom with the High Noon can. So how is that different this time
Admittedly,
than last time?
I didn't commit to getting help that one. So again, they're gonna be like, well, track record, you can either believe it or not. We're at a point where I believe it in myself. So the actions will, and there's a lot of people like, listen, I don't know if he's here today, but Kevin's like, still doesn't talk to me. It took a long time before I could look him in the eye. I think I'm at a point where a lot of people, you could say as many words as you want. It doesn't matter. So it's not me avoiding you. It's the actions now have to take instead of the words.
That's
and
facts.
like 8 months down the road, be like, so if people are mad that you didn't.
For that, like I was going to ask, like Chaps who came out, did you reach out and try to talk to Chaps?
No, I replied to a couple of things, but I also think you're going to get poked too. Like I think he's going to make your life hell for a while, and you have to take it. Or you have what can you really say?
Yeah, no, I think you have
sorry, you have every right to fucking kill me, and like you're right, there's nothing I can say, and I'd earn it over time.
But you kind of said that on Twitter.
Yeah, and you also, I think this is the right approach because you have made amends with a decent amount of people, but there are some people who, no matter what you say or do in the next few months, they're not going to believe it. And that's just part of what this is like, I was saying it on another show, like, if
By the way,
works,
I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. I do not, like everything you're saying, I don't believe. I hope it's true, but you did hit right, and using that analogy of someone who's going 180 drunk or somebody who has an intervention, they have no choice. Like in that moment, it's like they've hit rock bottom. Their friends, in this case, like you don't have a job. So every action still, you have no choice right now. You have no choice. So I don't believe it. And I do think you need help. Like, and that's not something overnight.
That's to the point that Dave and I were having an offline conversation, and we had a little bit of a chuckle that if you do ever get back on top, you're just going to be like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Like, if you get any little bit of power, you're going to be like, no, fuck that guy. That's what I fear, but I hope that the change is actually occurring, and it's not going to happen. Like, if you change, it's going to be a year or 2 years from now that people are going to be like, you know what? Like, look at him. He's shown it for a long period of time. You can't win in a month. You can't win in 2 months.
Correct.
It's baby steps. It's very small
like
baby
20
steps.
years of being just so sensitive to everything people say, I don't know that anybody, not just you, if I was looking at anybody that, yep, I can just turn that off. Like, I think it's going to be a little bit of a process, especially you're getting battered. I mean, obviously, you're at your lowest point, and it's what we said even before this. Everything that transpired created, maybe in hindsight, a good situation, because at some point, we were heading down this road, I think.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I wrote a lot of things off as like, oh, I'm just, I take a lot of pride in how you are, or like being authentic. It's like, so, yeah, somebody says one thing, it's like, all right, well, I have to be authentic to myself to be like, fuck that guy. But it's also like, you can not be best friends with somebody without letting them know you hate them. Like if
you can
if
work
you
with
walk
someone
in,
and not like someone.
All right, I disagree with
Are we going backwards?
Yeah, I think we took a big step
No,
back.
no. He's
Absolutely
saying
not.
he's
You're
saying
just
like
saying you just can't say that you hate him, but you still hate him.
No.
yes.
We
need to get the hate
Fair.
out, Hank.
I just
if the
think
hate
you can
stays, it's never
But
going
you
to
can
change.
coexist like teammates in locker rooms and shit. You don't have to like be best friends in the locker
Can
room.
I
but
ask
you
you
can.
But as soon as you
Like
let them
hating
know,
him,
no, it's.
But Rico,
okay.
was the real reason you hated Cons in the beginning? Is that story accurate? The baseball story?
No, somewhere along the line that got convoluted.
So what's the real
So
story?
why did you hate
Yeah.
him?
I think it was DJ's.
Part of it.
I actually
really
think
was.
we should probably try to unravel all of the beefs, because that's like you gotta actually explain
what
them
happened
all.
in
I
DJ's?
if I
Said it
Rico
was
can
gonna
correct me if I'm
close.
wrong. Yeah, he said something about
I mean,
his
so-
favorite. What's the
Yeah,
other,
I know.
what's the other
All right,
bar?
Dave.
What's the name of the other bar?
He said it was
Bar
going to
A.
close.
He was like, I'm going to Bar A, and Rico was like, said something like,
No,
no,
no, he
DJ's
said it was
better,
gonna
and then
close,
and
yeah.
then Cons was like, DJ's just closing.
Do you
Listen,
know
at
how
one
crazy
point,
that is?
he introduced me to the guy who shot Bin Laden, but like, wasn't it?
What?
Just so you know,
When we were at
Rico,
the old office,
even
like
that
I tried to be
exchange-
civil, but then there,
It's like
It is- listen.
that exchange of was it the
That was
baseball
fair,
game?
though.
No, that got convoluted. He said DJs was going to close.
yeah, that's part of it.
I mean, you are Danny Boy Kane.
Yeah, there's also, I mean, listen.
Yeah, he said I got attacked by a bear.
He tried to close
Like,
DJs.
what the
Pointing.
He
listen,
said DJ's going to close, and that was. I think you should have to write a blog about every one of your beefs and unravel them. No, seriously, people would want to hear it and be like, "This is where I made a mistake."
Fascinated to read.
Oh my god!
But I think
what's the beef?
What's the beef series?
it's
Like
going
Blackjack Fletcher,
backwards.
Laduca, Big T,
Like,
all
where's
these people.
The old you get, and we can mock up like a little video for like the sizzle. It's the "Where's the beef, lady?" Except it's Rico's head. You know the old "Where's the beef?" Those commercials. And it's Rico's head, "Where's the beef?" And you open the bun, there's no beef.
But this would be therapeutic. I mean, maybe it wouldn't be, so you can tell me. But I think saying it out loud, and then you can look at it and be like, wait, that was why I was angry? Like, that would help. Because then you realize, like, hey, these are trivial things.
You want to know how fucked up it got? Like, there's been.
Well, we know it got pretty fucked up.
Yeah,
Thanks,
we
Dave.
know it got real fucked up.
There's been people in like bars and restaurants, or you see that I forgot I was angry at and slipped and said hello. And it's and then even my own, I'm like, wait. Or when you try to explain it to somebody that kind of like doesn't really make sense, but it's
Yeah, he said DJ is close, and that makes no sense.
all right. It's part of
And then it sizzles because you end up with a Japs beef. You end up with all over. We have to talk about it.
Let me do an ad, and then we'll talk about it. We've been talking to you about Roman for years. Roman is all about improving the lives of men by making high-quality care accessible and convenient. But did you know that Roman is not just available online? Roman is also available in several major retailers nationwide. You can find Roman in Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, and Rite Aid. There you'll find a daily multivitamin supplement optimized to support men's health and performance, a testosterone support supplement with ashwagandha to support healthy testosterone levels, Roman swipes and condoms in case you need something for the weekend, over-the-counter medication to combat hair loss, as well as shampoo and conditioner for fuller-looking hair. So the choice is yours. Order Roman online at ro.co/pick'em or find Roman in the supplements aisle at your local Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Roman, check it out now, ro.co/pick'em, or find it in your local supplements aisle at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Thanks to Roman for sponsoring the show. Okay, Dave.
We got to talk about it. There's been a couple things that came out after the fact. The job at Odyssey WFAN.
Mm-hmm.
I now am 100% convinced this job did not exist. I think it did exist. A verbal was given, and then they started doing more research, and the offer was going to be pulled. Now, I don't know, and whether that is what caused you to do a 180, I don't know. Do you have any comment on that?
To that, you can feel however, or do your own research, however you ding.
We did our own research.
Okay.
We did our
own research.
Got it. If that
The research has been done.
okay, if that was going away, I was unaware of that. You think otherwise?
No, I'm processing the comment. So what happened on that Thursday? Because that's like, if we're breaking it all down, Wednesday you tell us you're leaving, Thursday nothing happens on our end, Friday the phone calls start. What happened on Thursday? Because that also lines up with the research.
I have documented proof the job was disappearing.
It was in a precarious situation, to put it lightly.
HR was involved. Meetings were being held. Research was being done.
Okay.
Did you weren't aware of any of that? What happened on that Thursday? You just decided I want to come back?
Doubted my decision. Yeah.
For what reasons? Was there anything that triggered it? Was there any one moment?
Because the timeline is precarious.
Yeah. The what is it? What's the Michael Scott? It's nothing short of predominant.
That's the only communication on Thursday. So There's no phone calls. There's no nothing.
I will say.
So if you have the research behind it, that would have been really embarrassing. It is what it is. I wasn't aware of it.
There's no text messages.
Well, the man's a hitman. You can delete text messages.
Got it.
True.
Well, you can't.
True.
I mean, we saw Jersey Jerry
Trained.
delete the text.
Part of it is
just like you taught us in boot camp, boss.
So what do you? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but
So I was asking,
in your research, did you find out if any of that was communicated to Rico?
I do not have proof that it was communicated to Rico. No, I don't. I just know the job, which, to be honest, I said from the beginning, if you did the research, like, there's only one company in the world who would take him, and that's us, because we have the history. But if he's coming into a new world, why would you want that baggage if you did the research? But no, Hank, I don't have proof that he knew about it.
No, that's the one thing that we don't know.
Is there proof that the offer was initially like?
The offer was in a precarious situation.
But there was an initial offer that
there was
Rico
a verbal.
knew about.
There was a verbal.
There was
agreement.
a verbal offer. As far as I know, you never saw anything on paper.
Nothing
right?
on paper.
I got an email. I never got a full.
Yeah, there was no contract on paper or anything like that.
Well, there was
that
also
in front
a
of
spot too where, like, if I'm under the understanding I couldn't sign anything till January 1st anyway. So where I was at was.
Well, that's just not true.
Mm-hmm. Definitely
Well,
not.
all right, that's my own.
I understand his logic there.
If you're under contract here till the 31st, signing something under contract would
You would love to catch him in a
torturous
contract.
law. Yeah, exactly. Like that.
Well, no, when he was gone, he walked out.
Yeah.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
I at least thought it was January 1st. That's my own. Truthfully, from the get-go, I had also said I'm not signing anything till January 1st. Or a lot of questions. How do we do this post-dated? How do we what? It is what it is. You guys are aware that it was going to be pulled. I was not. That's another thing you got to live with.
Yeah, there's a theory that it's like when
I mean, a rational human on our end would be like, he found out.
Yeah.
Because you clearly took time, thought about not re-upping with us. That's a heavy decision. You reverse it almost instantly. You reverse it a few hours after I have documented emails that this was not going down a good path at the other company. How could anyone think otherwise?
For anyone who watches Ozark, you were Wendy Bird. You were trying to go legit, and it's like, no. You got too much shit that's coming up now.
Yeah. And by the way, Dan learned that at ESPN.
Oh, yeah, dude,
I've learned it 1,000 times.
I'm here for life. Never.
Yeah. Once you're established as Barstool, it's for the people who we're not their cup of tea, it's very tough to ever convince them otherwise.
Mm-hmm. So, okay. Well, we have a little bit of clarity that. What else do we have to talk about? I mean, we'll get to Bulls in a second. Is there anything else? I mean, Dave, did you want to bring up the other thing?
We'll be right back, but first let's talk to you about HelloFresh. It's time for the most festive. It's the most festive time of year, and HelloFresh is here to help you make the most of every moment. From holiday hosting to dinners to busy nights during the week, you can count on HelloFresh to deliver fresh ingredients and seasonal recipes. HelloFresh can help you eat better amid all the holiday temptations. Their meals have 20% fewer calories than takeout, so you can still have full flavor just without the guilt. With over 35 recipes available to choose from each week, there's something to please everyone. Choose from family, friends, fit and wholesome, or even veggie. Plus, you can easily customize your meals by swapping proteins or sides, upgrading your proteins, or even adding protein to a veggie meal. Traveling over the holiday, HelloFresh has plans that work with your schedule. Change your preferences, delivery day, and address in just a few clicks. I've used HelloFresh. It's unbelievable. Get the honey chicken. I believe the chicken with mushrooms is my favorite thing. Go to HelloFresh.com/Pick'em18 and use code Pick'em18 for 18 free meals plus shipping. That's PICKEM18 at HelloFresh.com/Pick'em18.
Shirt?
The other thing. Oh, yes. So, through this process, you really haven't been punished.
Right.
At all. Or reprimanded. You've actually skated. Which I do think is unfair. The only precedent we have for something like this is also a member of this podcast with Franny Lydon, who was an online troll who got busted for talking shit. And I would say nowhere near the depths of what we did. So I haven't finalized it, but I am curious because it's a pretty good test. Because to be honest, your real name, Terrence, I have no patience for that anymore. I think that's now a trigger. That is your name. I could care less whether we call you Rico or Terrence. But if you're getting mad about that at this point, I think that's a pretty big red flag. We still have major issues. So
would you agree?
I did take...
Yeah.
I took the liberty of creating a shirt that mimics the Is Hank a Troll? I showed it, so I'm sure you've seen it.
Come on.
And Terrence is a scumbag.
I had 10 of them made so that you don't have to worry about laundry.
Now, because I actually am still sort of like fucked up way like him, we are going through the holiday season. I don't want to see his loved ones being forced to see him wear that around. But maybe after the new year, we do a 30-60, and it's the same exact punishment as Hank had. If someone sees you without wearing it in public, you're gone. That was literally the punishment for Hank. We got him, I think, 30 of them. He wore it every day.
Yeah. I
wore it in the ocean.
If you send him a
I know you did.
Dave and I then can send you a text at any moment and say, send us a picture.
I won't make you wear it at your house. You don't have to do that. But if you're going out, it's got to be on.
Thoughts?
You guys are the boss.
I actually think it's a decent test, too.
Yeah. Do you think it's fair?
Yeah, I guess it's warranted, but it's also like, you're committing to getting help yourself.
Right.
If public mockery is part of that.
But that's,
your call.
See.
Yeah, it's like if you had a guy going to AA, you wouldn't be like,
all right, so, okay,
an alcoholic
so
shirt.
let me ask you this then, Dave, because I've been thinking about that, because that is a fair point that
battling his demons.
we are trying to battle demons here. So I'll throw this out.
Mine was more of a punishment. Mine was like
I'll throw this out here. Because
Yours was a punishment, Hank, and this is a punishment.
No, I know, but I wasn't like bad. I wasn't going through it in the same way. I was just a fucking idiot.
There is an argument that the public mockery, it's all part of like the cathartic, like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like if you wear it in 30 days are gone, you're like, oh, it's not that bad. That's good. Like Rico is going to be mocked from here to the rest of the time. That's just how it goes in this business. And we talked about Rico on the phone when I was at the beach. It's like, part of me is like, I feel like I'm doing disservice because if you don't get better, we're going to head for another breakdown. Public mockery, like what you just said, like of the like, well, if public mockery is your thing, like, but that's what you're signing up for. You can't avoid it. The only thing you can do is get in a mindset where I'm not going to let this like ruin my psychological state.
Facts. So the only thing I was thinking about, because I think that, for people who are like, this is all farce, he's just doing everything, gunpoint. I've told Rico that I think the best way to go about his rehabilitation here is for the next month, he needs to blog hard, he needs to go to therapy, and then ease his way back into the work environment. So what if he had to wear this shirt for the entire March Madness? So it streams, and it's also giving Rico a couple months to get his headspace in a right spot, to get himself towards the goal of being someone who can handle this stuff, and then there's the test. Madness.
Maybe that's fair. Because honestly, what we just said, we're acting like psychologists. We're not.
Well, we kind of. I mean, listen. psychologists go to school for a really long time. They've never dealt with a case like this. Okay, so we don't have an actual PhD on the wall, but we have like the 10,000 hours, Malcolm Gladwell. We're experts.
Like Goodwill Hunting.
Yeah.
And I'll say this from my Rico expertise. His reaction to that's a little worrisome because it is just a T-shirt.
It is just a T-shirt.
And it's like, oh, public mockery is your thing. It's like, and I don't expect to be fixed overnight. So that's literally, I don't. Hopefully, we get to a stage where, and it's kind of like what Hank said. It's like, all right, I'll wear it. It's like, it is what it is. We're a part of this entertainment company. He did something so fucked up, it crossed the lines. And for that T-shirt to be the punishment, that's it. Like, I would be thanking my lucky stars. That's not how he sees it right now.
That's a fair point. So what do you think?
Yeah, I think Hank's point of like wearing a shirt like, oh, I'm an alcoholic when you're trying to get help. That's one thing. It is what it is. But also, Hank said internet troll.
What does yours say? Hold
a
on,
little
let
bit.
me make sure.
Well, I
You're
think
a scumbag.
I think the March
And I
Madness.
think part
is
of this
a
whole
fair-
like
that's a-
Wait,
that's a-
focus of
hold
not
on. Time out.
you know,
20-second timeout. 20-second timeout. 20-second
believing
timeout.
that you're a good
Time out.
person when you're
Time
wearing
out.
garments
Time out.
every day in the
Time
mirror.
out.
You got to look at
Time
it.
out.
It's
Time
just a
out.
shirt, though.
Do you think that you have acted like a scumbag?
Acted like, yes.
Do you think you've acted enough like a scumbag that someone could look at you and be like, that guy's kind of a scumbag?
Kind of.
So,
But permanent.
so like, where's the
that's a
lie on the
fair
shirt? I mean, this is now I'm back with Dave. You got it. Like, this is now. I don't think you're really owning everything
Correct.
you did. If you're saying like, oh, like
This is a
scumbag.
light punishment. I understand, I guess, the argument. He's so screwed up mentally. This is like it. We can't even comprehend what that does to him. That's fair. Maybe we need an expert. But I also think what you're saying, it drives it maybe home. Like, hey, yeah, guess what? You're a scumbag, Rico. There's no way around that. Like, you've acted like a scumbag enough to be a scumbag. That's not your this isn't, what is it, the scarlet letter that you're going to wear the rest of your life? People change. Rocky IV. I can change, you can change, we all can change. You change with Rico. It's not but own it. You're a scumbag.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Acted like.
Yeah,
That's where we disagree.
But you acted like a scumbag so
couldn't-
much.
Fair
Every
enough.
Hitler acted like a scumbag.
Right.
There's still a lot of
Like,
good. Yeah, okay.
you're defined by your actions.
Right.
Fair enough.
And
There's-
a lot of that, it's not one action, it's a lot of actions. So, I'm not saying that you are a scumbag for life. You can change that narrative. But currently, as we sit here on December 21st, everyone looking at you would be like, yeah, that guy's a scumbag.
And I think objectively, people watching this are going to be like, are you fucking kidding me? You have a problem with that T-shirt? Like, you should be thanking your lucky stars you're in that seat right now, and you think you're getting mocked? Like, I think there's a fair argument for that. And when you say, well, Hank's shirt was different, what Hank did was different.
So
you guys are the boss.
you're going to wear the shirt.
We'll figure out. The March Madness thing's an interesting angle
Because he
We'll
loves
be on
March
there.
Madness, and that was the only reason I was thinking about it. It wasn't to be lighter. It's actually
Maybe just March.
Yeah,
March.
Right, March. Because it's not to be lighter. It's actually to be more severe in a weird way. Because March Madness streams he cares about a lot. So I think that would, and it also would give him a couple months to get his head right.
We are not expert. I know we are expert in Rico.
We are
like
experts.
I think it's good. And I don't mean it to be good, but it's a punishment. And like, it's almost like the Nadeau thing. I'm not in your head after you're done with that press conference. I have to believe a party's like, whoa, that wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Like, people laughed. It's kind of on. Like, you wear that shirt for a month, take it off. No one's going to fucking care.
Yeah.
It's like, all right.
I will
making
say-
you realize that some of these things are way bigger
Yeah.
than they actually
They all
are.
fade, and people will start these type of things we'll have people starting to be like, hey, Rico can hang. He can do it. It's
But
not
it
bothering him. And
It
maybe
won't
the
if
comeback
it
is on.
clearly is bothering him,
Right,
which it
right.
clearly already showed this would bother him greatly.
I will say,
But
Rico.
that's not our fault because, and I don't really blame Rico because, Dan, how can we expect that not to bother him this quick in the game?
Right.
You don't change 20 years overnight.
Right. Right. What are you going to say, Hank?
I felt the same way when I first got the punishment. I was like, fuck this. Went out of my way to like not go out because I was like embarrassed. And then like halfway through, because it was July, and I was like,
Yeah, I start getting angry about that. You start celebrating it.
well, then I started going out, and I was like, this actually isn't that bad. And it was actually, it was great. People loved it. But it took, once you realize that moment, it's like, oh, it's not that big a deal. Like it's a much bigger deal in your head than in reality. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was actually a great
basically
icebreaker.
everything.
Yeah.
I guess you're not single, but
But it will help. You just walk with
fun.
Scarlet Letter.
yeah.
So you in. Do you want to do, are we saying January or are we saying March?
I think March.
I think March is a worse punishment because of how much March Madness means to him. Like, think about, could you imagine him having to, if he comes to the Final Four, he goes meet Nate Oates. He's got a shirt that says Terrence is his comeback on it.
Final Four's in April.
True.
Okay, well, what maybe I'll send
Well,
you.
maybe we just start
Yeah.
it like March.
Yeah.
March 18th or whatever.
Yeah, it's the tournament. We'll do it through the whole tournament.
The tournament.
Yeah, the tournament, because that's what it marches. Yeah, you get to, I want you. I'll sign you up for all the coaches conferences in Houston, and you'll just be walking in with Terrence's.
Can you wear like a blazer over it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he can't. Yeah,
You
can't
can
like
style it.
cover it. Yeah, but it's got to. His face has got to be visible.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah. Okay, so we'll table it.
Let's take a break and talk to you about Skrill. Need a faster way to pay on and play online? Today's episode is sponsored by Skrill, the digital wallet built for betting. Never heard of Skrill? Here are 3 reasons why you should open a Skrill account today. Number 1, Skrill is fast. Instantly deposit at your favorite online casino, sportsbook, or gaming site using only your Skrill login. Withdraw your winnings quickly when you're ready to cash out. Skrill won't let transaction limits get in the way of a good time. If you're a high roller, enjoy instant, secure access to your bank account and bankroll without limits, stopping your payments from going through. Skrill is no one-trick pony. You can send money to other players, trade crypto, or withdraw your balance as cash with their prepaid card, all while earning loyalty points you can exchange for rewards. So what are you waiting for? Go to Skrill.com/Barstool to sign up for free.
Okay, I feel like we're in a decent place. We're in a decent place right now. We're going to move forward. Change is not going to happen overnight. People are going to call me a scumbag. They're going to call you a scumbag. They're going to call Hank a scumbag. We're in the hole. And for the record,
I'm very comfortable with my decision.
Yeah.
I'm very comfortable with it.
I just
I hope Rico doesn't fucking fuck me over, but I'm very comfortable.
You know what it is?
Supported somebody trying to get help.
Yeah, you know what it is, Dave? It's like putting a future on a team. Like we're just gonna have to go through the months and months and months of like ups and downs. Like every time a team takes a loss, like, oh, you're a fucking idiot. Why'd you take that future? Hoping one day, when the season's over in a year, 2 years from now, the future cashes and we can be like, hey,
Right.
you know what? It worked.
Unfortunately, we get the good Rico. We've dealt with the good Rico,
Yeah.
so we like the guy. But and maybe there's a part it's like, well, you just put aside the absolute treachery he did, but not anymore. So
I'm back to being a rider bigger than ever before.
that's crazy. That's just crazy.
I don't know if I like that.
That's just nuts. That's just nuts.
Yeah, I mean, you have to like I am not viewing him the same way right now as I did 6 months ago. I'm viewing him.
So if he goes and
yeah.
open fires on a crowd, Hank,
he has
and he's
to,
in jail.
Yeah.
Are you going to be the guy outside the cell being like, free Rico? Like what?
He has
what
to,
does?
Yeah,
Maybe not free Rico, but I'll go visit him.
No, but he has to earn all of
See
this
how we
back.
check in with them.
He has to
Well,
earn all
then
of it.
I
back.
hope. Yeah, that's crazy.
I am not even close to being. I've never
Hank,
been.
Hank may be as demented as fucking.
He might have to wear the shirt.
I
Put
just
the shirt
didn't
back
like all
on
the.
too.
I didn't like all the hate. It was
Rico
one of those
does-
things where it's like keep it in the family,
Oh, you
and
were
then all of a
watching
sudden,
Avatar.
all the outside
But he didn't
people,
keep
yeah.
it in the family.
I get
Hank.
out of Avatar, and it's like
Hank,
the
he
world is
didn't keep
burning.
it
The
in the
world is literally
family.
on fire. I got out of Avatar.
But Hank,
too.
he didn't keep it in the family.
Yeah, all right, maybe not as big as before, but like in the past year, my ridership has severely dwindled, and now I'm back. I'm back on the way up.
No, come
Yes.
on.
Right, but the hate brought it out of me.
He does every ounce of hate he deserved. He went outside the family, and this is when you run back with your ISIS flag. That's weird.
No, it's just like Big Cat said. It's like betting the Vikings when they're down 33-0.
No, but you just tried
no
to
one
cash
thinks
the
they're going to
ticket.
win. No
you
one
just
thinks
tried
they're
to
going
cash the ticket.
No,
the
not at all.
The season hasn't even started.
I'm rooting for them. I put the bet in. It's a long shot, and I'm like, there's no way this is going to happen. It's probably not going to happen.
That's crazy.
I believe in Rico. I believe in the Vikings.
That's crazy.
Let's just keep the game on. Let's not turn it off. See what happens.
He has to earn.
Well, we're not
everything
turning
back.
the game off.
Yeah.
But we're also not like putting our helmet on and trying to create a hole for him to run through.
I mean, but you guys are as pot committed as me at this point. Like, if he opens fire in a crowd, you got it doesn't matter.
He has to earn all of it back. He has to work his way back.
I'll kill him in jail. I'll hire somebody to poison him in jail. I won't be out front holding a free Rico sign.
Neither will I. But maybe I would
Sound
go
like
visit
you will.
him. I would go visit him and be like,
That's crazy. That's crazy.
No, if Rico goes to jail under this hypothetical, it's an Epstein situation.
Yeah, right.
It is.
That's crazy. Hank's crazy.
Yeah, that was I'm actually happy you said that because now you're gonna get hate, and I
don't care. Bring it
you need
on.
to get in the
Bring it on.
You need
Yeah,
to get
that's
in the
crazy.
mix.
Well, the tough part of it too
Big
is
Cat
like
was so mad. I saw Avatar.
Well, I mean, like I said, I was getting the fucking internet shitting down my throat, and Hank had an edible and saw an Avatar, and he walked up to my desk. He's like, "Hey, what's up? How's it going?" I was like, "I don't know. The whole world is on my
damn.
throat."
Now you know how I felt with Bald Paul when the BI hit piece came out. And I was like, I canceled my trip to Santa Anita. Elio's out there by himself, and fucking Gaz goes clubbing.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I've known him my whole life. This is the darkest damn fight and everything. He's out in 11 fucking with glow sticks. By the way, funny side note, Rico apologized to Bald Paul, which shows you the craziness of Rico. Because I know Gaz and Hank, you know Gaz. Gaz didn't even know Rico really didn't like him.
No, he had no idea.
He's like, I thought this was all a joke. He's like, I got a deep apology. He's like, I didn't even know I was one of the guys.
Yeah, he had no idea. But yeah, that's exact same situation. Like you'd hope your right hand guy would be in the bunker
Yes.
with you, not fucking giggling his ass off a bunch of blue people on a screen because he had an edible.
100%. I thought Gaz, there was a chance he was going to jump on a plane and just be there to fight. No, he's out at fucking 11. Crazy.
You remember
Like,
those
how can you have
moments?
fun when everything is being questioned and we're under attack from every fucking angle? You're having the time of your life. That was the lowest point. The day that first article came out, the headline, before I really had I didn't know the girl, I didn't know anything. That was the lowest point. I'm like, what is this? Oh, I don't even know how to fight yet. And Gaz is fucking getting lap dances in 11.
My bad.
No, it's all right. It's fine. We moved on. I just see you're now you saying you're back to being a rider. You're there's a certain.
Don't you want to believe?
Listen?
Believe in something.
My favorite thing about all of this is like it is like
What about the rest of the company, Hank?
That's their problem. That's the same
No,
shit.
it is. So do you hate cons?
No, not at all.
Do you hate chaps?
Cons could have ended this whole thing. You
Yeah, but
you
I
agree
don't
with
think
the same
he's
way, Dave.
expecting you
If
to be
cons,
driving in one of those trucks with an ISIS flag right this moment.
no, it's not. I don't get involved in other people's personal shit. Like I'm not worried
But
about
he
like
did.
people's personal
But
drama.
he did. Your guy
but
did.
cons,
Your guy did.
cons. Yeah, I mean that's Rico. That's what you were saying earlier. We kind of know that. But cons, if I don't have a problem with cons, and I respect cons' decision. If cons had said no, he's not coming back, I would have been like, yeah, that's fine.
But,
if I was
but
cons,
Hank,
I would
you're like,
respect it.
I am riding harder than ever now, as if he did something great.
Yeah, maybe not harder than ever, but I guess just in the last year, I've kind of stopped being a rider, and this week has kind of been like, all right, like this guy needs some support. He needs a sponsor.
He has unbelievable support. He's sitting here.
he's got the best support in the world. And I'm not going to give it to him.
Use it up.
Yeah,
I have no more support in my veins to give.
right. I used
he's
it all.
here.
Him being here right now, that's all the support I got. He's got to re-earn every ounce of support that he gets back from me.
And by the way, I do think he's gonna. And if I see things, like I said, I owe it to the rest of the company. I will never let it build up because you could see it coming, sort of.
Yeah,
I won't
mean,
let that
all
happen
fall.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
all
it's
right,
it's a
the
tough
last
spot
thing-
too because getting back to like all the things you say, like this job is great, you can just bust balls. Brandon said all the time, like just bust balls, like laughing. It's a difficult spot for people to be like, or trying to bust balls and like laugh at this stuff, and people looking at that of like, oh, well, he doesn't care about what he did. So that's a difficult.
That's going to take time.
100%.
That's time.
But like part of being good and where I was my best is just busting balls. The other part is like, you can you yell at people, but in a sense of where you're truly only talking about that thing. Like where it's like Dave's like, no, I think Oklahoma, their offense is like, the best I've ever seen.
I think I'm intelligent enough to know the difference.
Got it.
Yes.
But it's even doing that, you wonder if people are like, ooh, so that's where it's.
I don't care. I think it's pretty obvious. I don't care what other people think.
That's
fair enough. Yeah, I got you. Well, no, even making, again, whatever. It's.
I don't care what people think. If people are like, oh, there he goes. I think I listen, this is a ringing endorsement. I guess, yes, I was like shocked when you did it. And then after like 5 minutes, I'm like, I guess it's not that fucking surprising. He's a crazy person. So it's like, I think I have a good handle and will be able to tell if we're going down a path that is busting balls, which everybody basically at this company does, versus things that are you're going down a bad path.
Yeah, but it's even too like you're in a spot where like Jack busts Jack's balls all the time. If
Jack, you like Jack,
yeah, I do like Jack. But if Jack is in a position where he's so turned off of what I did, and he's like,
but Jack, but it's like Gaz and Jack. Even though I guess you didn't like nobody here is surprised by your hate list. Jack wasn't on it. There was never anything that you would have done to Jack that we'd have been like, oh, he's going too far with Jack, because we know you don't hate Jack.
Right. Pretty much all the gambling guys that you haven't squeezed out, I feel like they all got what.
And by the way, I'm going to say something. I'm not going to say who the names are, because I do care what the company thinks. I don't care what other people think. I do care what people, and I've said this about Barstool. If we're playing Family Feud, I'm the guy at the top, right? And everyone yells answers, and you listen. You're like, that's a good answer. That's a good answer. Now, there may be times I'm like, I got the answer. I don't care. But I want to hear what people think. I sent text to, I would say, 5 people that I don't think are directly associated with you, who I think are level-headed people. And I'm like, what do you think we do with Rico? 5-0, keep him, but he's got to change.
That's
it. The overall hate of what he thinks or people think, yes, the people deserve to hate him, and some more than others. But I'm talking people who I would not say are directly connected to Rico in his world, who I think most Barstool people are like, yeah, I listen to him. He's level-headed, all kind of similar. Like, it's tough, went way over the line, does it again, he's got to go. I'd give him the one more chance. I'm not saying who those people are.
It's very difficult, because I've gone out of my way to try and help other people too, and like show appreciation, and then you go do such fucking horrible things. It's not a great place to exist. So that's where I was.
The other thing about the other employees, Dave, and you just said it, where it's like the people that hate him deserve to hate him, Collins deserves to hate him, but there's also an element from my perspective where it's like and Rico just at this point has to get the fuck over it and like take it, accept it, absorb it, and not let it bother him. But there is 100% a like Rico Bosco ecosystem where they know if they talk about him and get involved in these conversations, they're gonna get clicks, they're gonna get attention from you guys.
He really is a writer again, Dave.
Like they don't. It's true.
He's all the way back to being a writer.
It's true.
Dave, what he's just said is that everyone is
not
using Rico
everyone.
for clicks,
not
and they're
everyone.
trying to poke him for
clicks.
clicks.
But like Dave was like, what about the other employees? I don't think again, you just said it. You said the point perfectly, Dave. You pulled 5 neutral parties and it was 5-0. He should be back. Like I think everyone all the employees hate Rico is overblown. I think some people have justified reasons to hate. I think other people just like to get in on the conversation. That's what I was saying.
Look me in the eyes.
I don't think
he's a rider again. This is bad.
Oh, come on.
He's a rider again, Dave.
What do you think this last week has been?
He's a rider. People this last week did.
Can't focus on what other people are doing.
See,
right.
Listen,
that's what I'm
Hank,
saying.
To what he said.
Well, I think there's people not in the world. Like, I almost was going to write a list of, like, employees I really like that may, like, surprise people. Like, I fucking love Kelly Keegs. I think Kelly Keegs is fucking hilarious. Almost everything she tweets, I laugh at. I laugh at the way she goes back and forth with Minahan. I laugh at her, like, waking up to see what dweebs have armies. Like, I don't think she's using Rico at all for clicks. And I think someone who's not in this world would look at that, be like, these fucking guys are crazy. Kelly Keegs is crazy, by the way. But, like, I like that. So I don't think anyone's using it.
But I don't think Kelly Keegs would be like, I'm so upset with him, he needs to be gone. She's just talking about the conversation. I was talking about the point where you're like, all the employees hate Rico. I don't think Kelly Keegs hates Rico.
No, I did say when we did the high council,
I don't think anyone really hates
90% of the company.
No, that's not true.
It wasn't. Yeah, it was. No, people definitely hate Rico. That's not true, Hank. I think it's more
jealousy. I
think it's more 50-50 right now in the office of people who are like very upset and like don't want to be around him, and 50% are like, he's crazy. He's got to change, but he's crazy and he's entertaining.
I mean, and again,
but some of those people don't even like the reality show aspect of it.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And that's
those
like
people
that's
don't
to Dave's
agree
email.
with
It's
that.
like that. Like it's good. It's all good.
no, well, that's
Not all of it.
true.
It's not all good. It's not all good. But
That's
Like,
an
you
internet
got to
troll
remember
talking.
what he did. He crossed a very definite line.
yes,
So you can't gloss that over. Because he went after somebody who was not part of the reality show.
yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah, which you can't do.
Correct.
I think there's a narrative too of like, like, and you got, I don't know. It gets skewed. It's like playing crazy, and that obviously helps getting the clicks. So it's like you act more like that, but you don't like doing it all the time. But I don't know. This narrative of like you were an unhinged lunatic at all times from every second you were here throughout the day to when you left is untrue as well. But if that's the way people feel, like, I don't know.
Let's clear something up. You're not playing anything.
Yeah, that's
Right.
a fact. You are who you are.
Right.
There's no shtick.
Yeah.
None. Never have.
But I mean, Katie,
Never
hasn't there been normal interactions? Like, would you say
Well,
for the
you
most
like
part?
Katie.
Yeah, you like
You
Katie.
like
Around,
Katie.
okay. But even, again.
It's a bad example.
All right, fine.
Well, there's
I'm
no
not- yeah,
doubt.
I got
No
it.
one
It goes
said-
back to what we're saying.
Yeah.
That's the issue with you. If you are in this, like, I'm not a bad guy. If you like the person and you don't perceive a threat or you haven't perceived some imaginary wrong, yes, you're a very thoughtful, nice person. But you know what? If you were a white Aryan, Hitler liked you. And if you're a Jew, he threw you in an oven.
Facts.
What about the.
Facts.
I got you. We're.
So, like, those white Aryans are like, Hitler's a nice guy.
Right.
What do you, like,
He never
you're
did anything to
saying
me.
he's not nice to me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Is there a narrative that, like, somebody comes down from the third floor and, like, you bite their head off? Or am I willingly just.
Nobody says that. That's not what that.
But those are
narrative
people I
you
don't.
just said
I
is
don't necessarily
never-
like. You just met. Like.
No, I don't
You
think
get what I'm
haven't had
saying? Like, if you have this thing where either I like you or I don't, I'm neutral to, like, or I'm willing to be.
Something has to happen to trigger you not to like them. Correct. You like before not like, but your reasons for not liking are generally insane.
very small
Yes.
and yeah. So
But no, nobody. I don't think anybody's ever acted like, oh, someone on the third floor. No, those people you're normal and nice to.
right.
Right.
Okay.
Well, that's the point. Yeah, I got you.
Hank's a rider again. That's all I got out of that. Okay.
Hank is like garbage.
He's crazy. He just went right back in the bunker with him.
What do you guys? You guys
That's
let him back in the
biggest
door.
takeaway. This is the biggest
I'm trying to help
takeaway.
him. I'm trying to help him.
I know what
like
I'm
you guys
dealing
are trying to
with
absolve
Boston.
themselves,
Yeah.
and
I
then
already
also be
know
like,
him.
we hired him.
This guy's a corporate guy.
Yeah, I know. He's gonna. He has big time decisions he's got to
Who
make.
let him back in the door, Dave?
We did.
So, and then you're coming at me like I'm committing a crime.
We're gonna wake up.
Well,
we're gonna.
Hank, there's guys who are on like parole and probation,
Right.
and
they need support more than anyone.
Right.
just want to give.
We're gonna wake up, Dave, and it's gonna be like the Pat Beverly Show featuring Rico, and Foreplay now has Rico, and
Foreplay reached
and
out.
Chicks in the Office with Rico, and like he's gonna put him on every show.
No, I'm going to support from afar. You're his coach, Big Cat. I'm not fucking. I never committed to that.
So the coach doesn't just say, "Hey, good. Hey, you're
I'm
back.
I'm a
good
team
job,
supporter.
Dude. You get all your starting minutes back."
You're the coach. Rico's a player. I'm just in the fans with a Rico sign, being like, "Go Rico, go."
You never did anything wrong.
I'm riding.
No, you.
I'm not. People can do stuff wrong and they can come back. I believe in a comeback story.
That's literally.
That's why he's here.
Yeah, that's why he's here.
So what are you getting mad at me for?
He's got to earn it.
I'm supporting him trying to earn it. That's all.
You literally want to put him right back in as a starting quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, if he can win us games,
yeah.
The dude's not throwing for that, putting up yards like that.
I'm gonna be honest. First of all, that's a crazy shot after the
Yeah, what the fuck, dude? You've just gone backwards.
And I'm going to say a compliment to Jeff Nadeau. Jeff Nadeau has been, I would say, an unexpected, pleasant personality since he's joined.
Yes, I've said that since Barstool Idol. He was fantastic on that, and
Yes,
he earned my
Idol has
respect.
turned-
And since that, I have no issues with Nadeau. He
You
wants to
just
do a
tried
dating
to
show.
reignite a war
Yeah,
that they just fucking had a peace treaty yesterday, and now you're taking the lead, taking shots. What is going on?
He's gonna be that meme when Draymond's talking in Kevin Durant's ear, and we're gonna walk out of the studio. He's gonna get Rico's ear. He's like, but let's be honest, Khan's a real fuckhead. We gotta still get him.
Yeah, what are you trying to help him or hurt him? Hank?
Yeah.
I'm just saying he has my support if he needs it.
What did that need to be take an unprovoked
Yeah,
shot at
no, all right,
Nadeau?
that was out of line. I apologize to Nadeau. That was a little bit of muscle memory, I guess.
Yeah, a lot. All right.
Maybe you aren't the best guy to help him. Seems like you want to go back to your own rider ways.
Yeah.
It's like this guy we just released in a trade for Biden going right back to trading guns.
Yeah.
That's what Hank wants to do. It's like, all right, he's back. Let's go fucking commit some crimes.
Yeah, he picked Rico up from jail. He's like, you got a bank you want to rob?
You think that guy's not selling guns?
Hank. Unbelievable. Hank.
Man.
It's like Worm and fucking Damon in their
Yeah.
car.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're looking for card games. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people looking for card games. I'm telling them.
Christ, Hank. Christ.
We just went right backwards.
That was insane.
Whatever. Riders ride.
Yeah, riders ride, but you're gonna, as you're trying to help him, you're gonna get him out of here.
No, he's
We're
on his
gonna
last strike. There's
reignite
nothing
it
I can do. I
Let me
told him
tell you
it is.
this.
Day zero.
Let me tell you this, Hank.
I'm a day
think
zero rider.
if you think helping Rico is by starting to trash Nadeau, you are not helping.
That was a mistake.
You're not
That
helping.
was a mistake.
You're not helping.
That was a mistake.
You're not helping.
What has he done around here? What are you talking
No, it was a joke.
He's
My
going to
bad.
walk out of here and he's going to be like, hey, Rico, just as an aside, when Khan said that DJ's was closing down, I believed him. So
Like,
back to it. All right.
Christ.
All right. One last ad and then let's do some picks. All right, this show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Unfortunately, life doesn't come with a user manual. You've been listening to it all here, so when it's not working for you, it's normal to feel stuck. Navigating any of life's challenges can make you feel unsure, whether it's a career change, a new relationship, or becoming a parent. Therapists are trained to help you figure out the cause of challenging emotions and learn productive coping skills, which makes therapy the closest thing to a guided tour of the complex engine called you. The benefits of seeking better help, well, you can change as a person. You can come back. You can come back from your greatest, bottom out. So make sure that you're taking care of your health. Don't let it get to a point where you get to the bottom. Go to BetterHelp right now. As the world's largest therapy service, BetterHelp has matched 3 million people with professionally licensed and vetted therapists, available 100% online, plus it's affordable. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to match with a therapist. If things aren't clicking, you can easily switch to a new therapist anytime. It couldn't be simpler. No waiting rooms, no traffic, no endless searching for the right therapist. Learn more and save 10% off the first month at BetterHelp.com/pick'em. That's BetterHelp.com/pick'em. BetterHelp, HELP.com/pick'em. Okay. Bulls. I am so bad right now. It's been
I've been responsibly not gambling.
retired. I am
Yeah.
3-10 right now in bowl games. And that was actually pretty funny because on Saturday I tweeted, I was like, I'm 1-9 right now in bowl games. And someone replied and was like, but Big Cat, there's only been 5 bowl games. And I was like, exactly. I am 1-9 in bowl games. I can't believe I know I keep going back to that one guy who's like, you're going to just play four corners offense.
That's the most outlandish thing if
for
someone
the
has
Pat Hill trophy.
ever said to Dan.
Yeah.
When in
It's like-
October,
yeah.
he goes, you know what would be a real cool thing if I bet 1,000
Yeah,
fucking
no,
games."
next year I'm going to be Mr. 1,000. I'm going to bet 1,000 games next year. I'm going to do it.
insane.
But yeah, the Bulls have been bad.
Guy's barely over 500. He bet 500 games. He's going to double it.
Yeah, I am. Watch me do that. It's going to be incredible. Next year, Mr.
Strengthen the
1000,
numbers.
Mr. 1000. The bowl games, though, Dave, they have been tough to watch because it is hard to – it's way different than it was even, a few years ago. Guys opting out, just a lot of stuff. It's like very, very difficult to watch some of these. I've been watching them all.
I transform when I'm in retirement. I transform into a totally different human.
Oh, yeah.
I watch the Patriots
Program.
That's it.
That
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell. I'm watching I watched some horrible Christmas movie the other day. There's this documentary on a volcano that explodes, like Escape from Waikiki or something. It's on Netflix. Amazing watch. Imagine being on a volcano. It just explodes while you're there. These people got like the most grotesque burns, but I barely know football's going on.
Yeah, you
should watch the Shaq thing.
what? What's
Shaq documentary wasn't bad. 4
really?
parts.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know you're not gambling when Mr. Ice, he's had a little comeback. We went through a hell of a time. I think it was 6 days in a row, and it was just – and I got to a point where I was pot committed, where I was like, if I stop, he's going to win, so I have to keep going with him. And it was – we got low. We got real low.
During all these there was so much going on, timeline with Rico's stuff, the UFC, and then like clockwork every night around 9:30 I'd see some weird tweet, no space, looks like playoff hockey. Like it was Elio complaining about his goals, the only thing he cares about at all times.
Yeah, it's he's what he's doing right now, he's betting these games at like 10 o'clock, so I'm staying up, he's staying up. It's bad. I think he's still sick from Breeders' Cup. It's just
he had some vishy. Look, he lost a lot of weight this season.
Yeah, but it's because he's doing these like that the game of the year when I had the 10:30 game of the year, the BYU, like that one took, I don't know, that was probably 2 years off my life. Like if we go, if you go like to heaven and they're like, here's how it all went down. They're like, well, that BYU Baylor game in 2022, and you stayed up all night, like. Unfortunately, that's why you died at 68 and not 72.
There's nothing worse than staying up late if you're going to lose. I wish there was a way to fucking just know. Like
The worst.
Did you see that tweet? When everyone in the imaginary gangs, he had that tweet. The only thing the Mr. Ice gang cares about is putting that little black puck in the back of the net.
Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, the Bulls have been tough for me, but I started 0-0. I'm starting 0-0 in my mind. I'm refreshing. I'm going forward.
I got to see the cash out. I'm waiting because I have that 100,000 responsibly smart bet on Georgia to win the whole thing. And if they don't give me a cash out, I'm going to have to hopefully hedge it. Hopefully Georgia and Michigan win, even though I'd like to play Ohio, but then I got to cash out. So we'll see.
Yeah. And you also have Bengals?
No, I don't. The Dolphins haven't won a game since I put that bet on them.
Fuck. All right. I mean, I never said that. I never said to not take the Bengals. I said they had a tough schedule. I never said that. Mike Francesa, I never said that. All right, let's do the 5 most important bowl games, then we can do some cards. It is chaos though right now trying to handicap these bowl games.
It's like they don't. I don't know.
I'm going to take day by day, too. Like, my whole card, I'm going to just give it to Dukes day by day because that's the other thing is, like, I locked in a bunch when we did our show last week, and then Saturday I got obliterated. And a couple of the games, I was like, I don't even know if I like this anymore. And I'm in the gun-shy mode. Like, I had Eastern Michigan in the over, double winner, but I was so scared of how bad I've been going, I didn't put it on my official card. It was just like, I'm scared, but I'll be back. I always bounce back. All right, let's do the Bulls. Sugar Bowl, Alabama versus Kansas State. Kansas State +6. Who came back?
6?
6. over under 56.
All right, so that line went all the way down to 3.
Yeah, I know. Who's opted back in? Because I know Bryce Young isn't playing, right?
Big T said Bryce Young was playing.
As of right now,
that's what it was.
Will Anderson has explicitly said, like, why wouldn't I play? I'm doing it. Bryce Young, it's assumed, but he himself has made no announcement.
Okay, so that's probably where the line movement came from, because there was an idea that they weren't going to play, and now it sounds like they are. Dave, I'll start with you. Kansas State +6 over under 56.
I'm taking Kansas State. I don't care if they play or don't play. The motivation and the practice is totally different. I just don't think they will be up for this game. I'm going to stick with the original Kansas State.
Okay. I'm going to take Kansas State as well, +6. It does make me a little nervous that Bama seems like those guys are playing, but I just don't know how they get up for something like this.
They can't.
Early game. It's weird because I've gotten everything I wanted out of Kansas State this year. And you can call them, you can call a spade and like know what they did. They skated by some teams who were not that great in the Big 12. They beat Iowa State by 1. You know, TCU was probably in the end zone. Let's face that in overtime.
Yep.
So like, I don't think Alabama's going to be motivated, but I weirdly still probably would play Alabama because I'm done. I don't need Kansas. I don't need Kansas State anymore. Like it's
not a respect bet.
I want them to win. I'm rooting for them to win, but I do think Saban will figure, you know, I don't know. He looking forward to next year, or like, you guys were a disgrace. Show me something if you want to fucking stay here, or I'll put you in the portal. Like, I don't know. I don't know what he's going to do in his mind tricks or whatever. Maybe remind people they're still Alabama. I think Alabama, it's Alabama. But I'm rooting for K-State. It sucks.
Okay.
It totally, because when I saw this matchup, I'm like, this sucks. Because anybody else, Kansas State, I think could go beat strictly off the motivation, schematically, their systems being jacked up. Alabama's different. I think Alabama can sleep.
Why?
What?
Why? They haven't been great this year.
They've still been
like the Brandon Walker thing. They're still Alabama.
They've still been very good. I just think when it comes down, like, yeah, I don't know. I think they'll beat them.
Okay.
I think they're way more athletic. I think the schemes might only work in some of the opponents that Kansas State has played. It won't work against SEC talent. I think Bama's the right play. I'm rooting for Kansas State. Bama's the best play.
Okay. All right, so you have Bama -6. Dave and I have Kansas State. We'll do the Cotton Bowl next. Tulane at USC. Over under 63. Caleb Williams may be playing. He said he wants to play.
Leaning towards it, but very up in the air.
Yeah, very up in the air with his hamstring injury. I'm taking Tulane either way. I think Tulane's defense.
What's the line? 1
2,
still?
2.
Yeah, get out of here. We've talked about the joke. Tulane is the only play by how ridiculous this line is.
Yeah, and it's also like this is the motivation is everything in these bowl games. Tulane has never been in this spot. This is the best season they've had in forever. USC has to feel a little bit deflated from how their season ended. I think it's got to be Tulane.
I'm going to play USC.
Okay.
That's the Bosco score.
I have, yeah.
And that is
got
why.
Bama
That
USC.
is
Caleb Williams
why
changes
you take
things,
Tulane.
but
who cares? The line is USC is better at every position, and it's a 2-point spread. Forget about it. They are begging the squares like Rico to take USC, and he took USC. I love Tulane.
I don't think Tulane's offense can expose USC
Right.
as much as
nothing you say. Nothing you say matters.
Okay, I'm on USC.
Like, obviously, no. Like, why? It's USC versus Tulane. The line is basically a pick 'em. You'd have to be a moron to take USC here.
He's got USC.
I've been a moron. I've been a moron.
Should we add it to the shirt?
Yeah.
Scumbag and sometimes a moron. It's a good shirt. It's a good picture of you. You want a different picture? Okay, there it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. All right. Rose Bowl, January 2nd. Penn State versus Utah. Utah -2.5, over under 52. I'm taking the over in this game.
I'll take Penn State in the over. This is a game you never have to worry about them caring about.
Right.
This will be a very motivated, both sides. I think Penn State's just a little better, but coin flip game for me.
Yeah, and this also does feel like the game, Like, these two teams are outside of USC, and, you could make the case for Bama, but, like, Penn State and Utah are two teams that one game goes differently, they could be in the college football playoffs. So it's a big game to put a cherry on top of a 10-win season, 11-win season. Like, they've had good seasons. They're trying to actually finish it off and be like, look at this season.
I also think the Oregon loss definitely put the nail in the coffin, and that was late. But Utah kind of knew they were out of the playoff race or had an uphill battle from Labor Day when they lost to Florida. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, yeah, we'll try to rally and get to the playoff, but that was never really on the table. So I think the Rose Bowl is where these teams knew they were going to be. State Penn lost to Ohio in October. This is where they were destined to be. So I agree with you. They'll both come to play. I'm going to lean Utah.
Okay. So you have Penn State in the over. I have the over. You have Utah.
Yeah.
All right. Fiesta Bowl. Dave. TCU, Michigan.
I'm going.
Michigan -8, over-unders 58.5.
Yeah, this line's moved a little bit. I'm taking Michigan. I'll bet on Michigan. I'll be at the game. If Michigan was not Michigan, but Michigan, you know what I'm saying? Let me put this way. If I didn't go to Michigan, I would take TCU. But I'm just blindly going Michigan. I'm going to be rooting for Michigan. I think it's going to be a close fucking game. I do
too. And I'm taking TCU +8. Rico.
Kansas State got to Duggan. They beat him up a little bit. I think Michigan's front line has the recipe to like really, really, really make it difficult. But I also think Dykes can design some plays to give Michigan fits. Now with that, explosive offense, Quentin Johnson's really good. It's a weird spot because Michigan has shut down one of the best explosive offenses in Ohio State.
Yep.
So all these things I'm saying about TCU, they could probably hang in it. They could be aggressive. They could score. Only goes so far because Michigan did shut Ohio. You know what I mean? Like,
the only thing I'll say about TCU is their defense was a big liability for the first part of the season. Something happened in the last 2 months where they have played a lot better, and you saw it when they went to Texas and shut down Texas. They've just been playing a lot better defensively, so I think they're a little bit more of a complete team than they were in September and October. And Michigan, I think, is going to win this game. But TCU just has a knack for hanging around and staying in these games.
It's going to be ways. TCU will not, or it would surprise me if TCU quits or doesn't keep it close. But I also think there's a lot of pressure on Harbaugh after last year. Like, all right, yeah, you beat Ohio State, you got to the playoff.
I don't, as a Michigan fan, I don't think there's any pressure on Harbaugh.
Hold on.
Spot.
Okay, no. Okay. So there's no pressure for his job, but you don't think there's pressure on him to win this game?
I actually agree with Rico.
And get to a championship?
Yeah.
And take the next step?
Yes, I agree with Rico.
That's crazy.
I agree with Rico. I don't think
that is crazy.
I think there's absolutely pressure for him to win this game. I think he can handle the pressure. It's not like pressure that will consume him.
I don't think there's, and I am a Michigan fan that's demanded excellence. I'd be very disappointed if they lost, but there wouldn't be an ounce of me being like, what's Harbaugh doing? Like, if you told me 2 years ago, if you told me the day before we beat Ohio State last year that we're about to beat them 2 times in a row badly and be in the playoffs, I'd be like, sign me up a million times, lose the first.
Yes.
We're not, and I don't even care about the loss to Georgia last year.
No, because you're a dog. You weren't supposed to win. But in this one, you have the worst of the 4 teams, and you're a plus touchdown favorite.
Yeah, but that's more, to me, if we lose this game, it's more an indictment on the Big Ten than anything else.
That's a wild spin.
I don't think we're going to lose, but there's no pressure on Harbaugh. None.
You don't think there's any pressure to take the next step?
Yeah.
No.
In a game that they're favored by 8, yeah.
That's a crazy statement.
I think there's definitely some pressure.
You have to get to the championship.
No. That even what you're saying is ridiculous. Like, no Michigan fan realistically is like, if the day before Ohio State last year is like, if we don't get to the title game in 2 years,
but that
then
changes.
Yes, but you're saying that only showing 3 cards on the flop. Then the river comes out and it's TCU plus 8. You gotta win the hand.
Expectations change.
100%.
I am
That's
saying
crazy.
I've already said this clearly. I think TCU is an undervalued team. I think TCU is better than Ohio State.
I just think that the expectations change. He's raised the bar. It now is what is expected at Michigan, and with raising the bar, you now have to start jumping over a higher bar.
It's like a basketball coach. Like, all right, how many times you make the tournament? Well, you got to make the second weekend. Then you make the Final Four. Hardball has made the Final Four. He's got to go win a title.
This is only the second. Maybe I can concede if they lose this game and are a 10-point favorite next year, you got to win that game. Not this year. It's too fast.
Okay.
People you don't start putting the pressure on your second Final Four.
He's been around for a long time.
Well, that was the thing. It took him 9 years to get to the dance.
But he was all the way at rock bottom, so it's not pressure yet. It isn't.
Okay. All right, Peach Bowl's the last one, and then we can do our cards and maybe talk a little Arizona Bowl as well. Ohio State versus Georgia. Georgia -6.5, over under 62. Georgia is my lock. Georgia's my lock.
Georgia's going to kill him.
Georgia's going to smush them. I am a big believer in people who are viewing this Georgia season as being like they're not the same team. Okay, maybe they're not exactly the same as last year. If you look at what they did against the big competition that they had on their schedule, they always stepped up. They smushed Oregon, smushed Tennessee, smushed LSU. Those games meant something. I'm not judging them for a sleepy game in Lexington or a game at Mizzou. I think they have that gear and they have that switch, and they've done it. Like, you can the switch is a very interesting thing in sports to discuss, but when you've done it and you know you have it, I think that changes how you view the totality of the season.
Yeah, and Ohio State sucks.
Rico?
Yeah, I would take Georgia as well. I also think, too, like you're talking now, just that whole spiel. Remember when Miami, or they did that documentary, Miami, like the 3-year run they had, the 0-1 championship?
It's all about the U?
Yes. A part of it, and got robbed in the 0-3 final, and then those USC teams that won that championship lost. So like that year, Georgia is setting themselves up potentially to win back-to-back national titles against a very good Alabama team and a very good Michigan team, potentially. Like, when we look back at this, we'd be like, damn, that, like, they're building a legacy. So
and I like Stetson Bennett. He's got some dog in him. Like the clapping back.
He's like 39 years old with fucking 9,000 Division I NFL #1 picks. I'd be a dog too.
He's the same age as Lamar Jackson.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, let's do cards. Arizona Bowl real quick. So we're gonna be there. Obviously, Arizona Bowl, Barstool.tv, 4:30 Eastern on December 30th. It's going to be awesome. Dave and I and Jake are gonna be on the call. Brandon, PFT, and I believe Casey.
Yeah, and Will Compton, I think.
Will Compton going to be doing a pregame. We got a lot of stuff planned. Roan and Caleb will be there. Frank's doing the coin toss, which I got that approved, which is going to be incredible. Hopefully he doesn't mess it up. I think we're going to get Jerry running out and grabbing the tees for Wyoming off of kickoffs. Doing the national anthem. No jumping out of a plane. We tried everything. They will not let you jump into a stadium unless you are officially a trained skydiver. And I apologize to the people, but I'm not going to jump out of a plane 25 times to be able to do it. We're trying to get a bald eagle to land on me.
That'll be great.
And fireworks are a go during the anthem. So I'm
huge.
And if we keep doing this bowl game and they can figure out a way for me to jump out of a plane, I absolutely will do it. I've done it before, so it's not like I'm not going to spend like a month training to skydive. And I also don't trust myself jumping out of a plane by myself. That would be crazy. Wouldn't you say, Hank?
Point Break. Just go no parachute.
Yeah. You probably want me dead so that you can be a full rider.
No. What do you mean? We're riders together. Riders on the storm.
Riders on the storm.
All right, let's tell you about our friends at Vroom. With Vroom, you can buy a car entirely online and have it delivered straight to you, so you never have to go to a dealership again. With Vroom, you can browse thousands of cars in one place, so you don't have to spend your weekend driving out to a million different dealerships or meeting up with a stranger to buy a car. And when you sell your car on Vroom, you get a price instantly, so you don't have to waste time at a dealership or deal with flaky buyers. Vroom is entirely online, so next time you need to buy a car, just grab your phone, go to vroom.com, and check out thousands of great cars.
All right, Dave, you want to do your card?
Sure.
You guys are denial riders.
No. He has to earn me being a rider again.
I'm not a rider. I mean, you could say I'm a rider based on my actions, but I'm not. Ole Miss -3.5 at home. Texas Tech, Syracuse plus I think 8 against Minnesota. Florida State -9 at home against Oklahoma. Washington +4 against Texas. I don't know why I'm saying at home.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Pitt.
That's unbelievable.
5.5. Who are they playing?
UCLA, it's 4.5 right now.
Yeah, DTR's not playing.
Ooh.
Yep. Pitt. South Carolina +2.5 against Notre Dame, over 51.5. Tennessee +6 against Clemson. Kansas State +6 against Bama. I may have given this out already. My mortal lock. What's the pick'em parlay?
We didn't.
Is it out?
Too separated.
Yeah, it's too. The games are too separated. We could do one for.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to give this because I've switched. Because I had one of those moments where I counted it. I had the 2 second. I counted it as a win. And then I'm like, wait a minute. You can't. I got so confident. I know it's a loss.
Which game?
And I think conservatively, when I have these flashes, like 9-0 in my life, they're honestly almost unbeatable.
Which game?
I gave out a mortal lock, the over. I don't even know where I did it. In Wake Forest, Missouri.
But you have to keep that. You could switch it, but then you got to give 2 because we've already all had a mortal lock play.
What was my mortal lock?
No,
That was your mortal lock from last week.
he didn't have Oregon State last week?
No.
No.
Okay.
That
But
was
Liam.
Wake Forest hasn't played yet.
right. So you can switch it, but then you have to do 2 mortal locks is what I'm
Fine.
saying.
I'm going with the under in Wake Forest, Missouri.
Okay, so you're switching it. Got it.
Yeah.
Toogs.
And that
We'll
that-
hopefully hear this.
responsibly for people, I'm almost unbeatable. You can't say unbeatable because there are certain people in the world who will take that as me saying you're literally unbeatable. Like they'll take that as fact.
Right.
I can lose, but I seemingly never do when I have these flashes. I gave you one, Dan, the
yeah.
other day.
Yeah. You did.
Who was that? Duke?
No, it was Houston.
Against Virginia?
No. You had Houston. That was a loser.
Oh no, it was Miami.
Virginia Tech.
Yeah. Yes.
No, Miami, NC State.
Yes.
I loved NC State, and I was getting ready to deposit money to do it, and then I go, and I was like, I'm wrong. It's Miami. When that happens, that happened for me on this under and Wake. The other one, South Carolina, +2.5 Notre Dame.
Okay. Rico.
Katie, anything that's moved, you can adjust. I haven't touched the notebook in a couple of days. But UCF Duke over 61.5. I think it's 2 good offenses, some bad defenses. I think they'll both get going. They're bad in yards, too, so they'll be gaining back and forth. I'm going to take Minnesota minus the 7.5 because of my uncle. He's assigned to Syracuse. He's 0-11 in the Pinstripe Bowl. I'm going to take Minnesota.
What's the actual line on that?
It's 8.5 right now.
8.5.
That's what I thought. Nice try.
I mean, it's
Nice try. You tried to sneak one by him.
sure.
I mean, it's a full point.
Sure. When the opening statement is, "Hey, Katie, I haven't touched the notebook in a week."
Nice try.
Fair enough. Everything's gonna be a stress test.
You're literally, we're John Taffer, and it's just every night's a stress test.
You can't break me when I've already broken myself.
Ooh,
Pitt,
that's good.
UCLA over 58. I didn't know.
54.5.
Oh,
See, so I just gained.
you got us
4
some. Yeah,
points.
you
All
got
right.
some.
I didn't know DTR wasn't going to play, but I do like the offenses. I'm going to go with that. Ohio +1, USC minus the 1.5, and my best bet will be Florida State. Where did this move to? Minus 7.5.
Okay.
9.
I got them at 9.
9.
Got it.
All right. I am.
So just curious.
mean,
You just didn't feel like checking before you said you haven't touched a notebook in a week?
I have it right in front of me right now. It took 2 seconds. Just put all the lines.
Yeah, why wouldn't you just look before the show?
He was trying to pull a fast one.
Why would you be like, I haven't touched the notebook in a week?
I haven't
trying to
touched
pull a
this
fast one.
notebook
Yeah,
in a
you're
week.
trying to pull a fast one.
I got some other things trying to prepare. Got it.
Yeah.
It takes 5 seconds.
Got it.
Well, let's add up all those points, all right? So 4.5 on the over in my favor, or against me. Technically, if I gave out 58, you're saying one for Minnesota, and one for Florida State. For Florida State,
and 1.5 for
And a half.
UCF Duke.
what did that go to?
62.5.
Oh, okay, so it's about a wash, though.
Yeah, but 3 games you changed it, and 1 game you didn't.
I was blind either way to the numbers, but Florida State. I think
Okay.
Oklahoma doesn't. I don't think Oklahoma has a lot of desire. You saw this with Oregon State, Florida. Travis playing worries me though. What's the deal? Is Dion going to steal him? Is that really a rumor?
I'm not sure about that one. He was supposedly in Colorado the other day, though.
Oh, wow.
That's
I'm
not great.
sure.
So I'll adjust. I think you have to wait right until kick to bet these bowl games anyway.
Yeah.
With so many factors, but it's a home game for Florida State. They overachieved. Oklahoma underachieved. I like Florida State here.
All right, I'll do my card real quick. I'm going to play game by game a little bit more, but I do like Air Force +8 tomorrow.
It's 4.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 4? Whoops. Whoops. My bad.
But
Damn,
what
I
you're
thought I got
saying,
+8.
What you're saying that 8 never existed. These numbers at least existed.
All right, so I can't get Air Force +8? Shit.
You get it, whatever.
All right, Air Force +4. I'm going to also take – Dave now's got me in a pickle. I guess I have to – Dukes, when you listen to this, cancel the entire Missouri game for me. I had 2 picks on the game. Cancel the game. I'm not playing that game. Cancel it. San Diego State -7. That's Christmas Eve. I'm also going to take Oklahoma. Where is it? Oklahoma, Florida State over 66. And then everything we talked about with the January 1st games. And then I will add as we go along because I don't know how to fucking handicap these bowl games. I'm just a mess. But I got to get myself back together. Also, yeah, I'll figure out what I'm going to play tonight. Mortal Locks. I'm doing Georgia -6.5. Rico?
Which one is that?
Mortal
Florida
Locks.
State.
Florida State.
I'm going to do Notre Dame -2.5.
Whoa.
Days is South Carolina for Mortal.
Correct.
How do we?
Oh.
All right, come back to me.
All right.
I'm going Rico's uncle, Minnesota.
Okay. 8.5, 7.5, 6.5. What do you want?
I saw 6.5, but you know
6.5?
Take 2.5. We just
Minnesota
won by a
pick
field goal.
'em? Yeah.
Take
why
the
not?
pick 'em.
All right. Katie?
I'm doing USC Tulane over 63, and Dukes is Penn State +2.5 for the parlay.
Okay.
I'll do Georgia.
Okay. Georgia. What did you say yours was?
Florida State.
Florida State. And you
Hey,
have
part of me thinks I
South
should
Carolina.
flip with the theme of like the people can change and things can't be as bad as they once were.
No, don't do that. Mine was the under
Guy
and
can't
Wake
go
in
0-12,
South Carolina.
right?
Under Wake, South Carolina, or under
I
Wake,
think it can.
Missouri, and then also South Carolina. So those are your 2.
All right.
All right, boys. I think let's do a preview for the national championship. Might as well, right? Because then we can also see how Bosco handled the last few weeks. So we'll have one more show on the season. We'll do it after the new year when we're getting ready for the national title. Hopefully Michigan's in it. And, we'll see everyone after the new year. Rico?
All right.
Any last words?
See you guys.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Love it.